nothing. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie!
What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Abby's Window, and we're here on a special evening. We had to shift some things around, but we're here. We're not going to have a longer episode like we typically do. This will be a more condensed episode. But we do have some things to talk about, including congratulations to one Miss Bliss and her husband. And I have a little bit to say to those of you who may be a little bit selfish in that regard and thinking about yourself and
You have a grievance to air.
a small one, a small
Yeah.
one. I won't take up too much.
I share that same grievance with you.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, congratulations to Alexa and Ryan. Really happy for them. And then we have a little bit of breaking news. So we'll get to that. So yeah, I guess. Do you want to start with the grievance? I guess the small grievance, and since we've got a lot of people saying congratulations to them in the chat already.
Sure.
Okay, we'll start there, and then we'll go to Caleb's corner, and then we'll discuss the breaking news. So, Alexa Bliss yesterday, I believe. My days are mixed up, so I apologize. But yeah, Alexa Bliss and her husband announced that they're expecting their first child, and congratulations to them. That's awesome.
So amazing.
Yeah, wonderful news. Children are such a blessing, and so really happy for them.
As a parent, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Jeff, you don't like them all the time, but you love them all the time.
Love them all the time. Sometimes they can be a little rough around the edges, we'll say. But yeah, but I honestly, as a parent, and I heard this video that really that really resonated with me, but they were talking about how you never knew that you'd be willing to die and or kill for someone until
you have kids.
You have kids, and the guy was talking about his son and daughter being born, and how he said he'd kill for his son.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he said he'd die for his son. He said he'd kill for his daughter. I get that.
Obviously the girls are my stepdaughters, but yeah, I obviously Ari has to worry. My 16-year-old has to worry about her dad being super protective and greeting her boyfriends at the door with a rifle. But he's got me to look forward to too, because I fully intend on telling them, you ever put your hands on my daughter without consent, and at best, I'll make sure you never have sex again. At worst, I'll make sure you never have children. So,
yeah, facts. So I want to say this because I saw a few things on social media. I mean, go figure. Social media
is a cesspool.
Yes, it is. So I saw a few things on social media where there were a couple people that were let's just say they were focused on themselves when it came to Alexa making her announcement. I'm going to say this as nicely and as calmly as possible. I do realize that I have our resident translator in the chat, James Chadwick. But I'm going to say this as nicely and kindly as possible. I don't give a crap about a storyline or a return
Yeah.
when it comes to a person living their life, enjoying their marriage, and having a child.
Mhm.
Um, I don't care about a storyline. I'd love to see Alexa Bliss on TV again, but guess what? This is about her and her family and her growing family. If you're a true fan, support that, or just shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I mean,
real.
to my knowledge, people weren't in that much of an uproar when, Carmella wasn't there because she got pregnant. Why, by the way, she's pregnant now again too. So
Yeah, and
congratulations to her.
congratulations to her and Corey Graves.
Hmm.
But
There wasn't this big uproar when she announced that she was pregnant, or when she announced that she had a miscarriage. So,
right,
or when she announced that she was pregnant again.
right, right. So if you support these folks, support them. Not just when it's beneficial for you, but support them. Be happy for them. These these wrestlers, these entertainers, they're people first. They're people first. Alexa just got married not too long ago.
Hmm.
She's allowed to take time away.
They're having a boy.
Uh,
Apparently,
they're having
Carmella and Corey are having a boy.
That's
Boys are
awesome.
so much fun.
Yeah, Tay Conti is also pregnant too. I saw that on
That's
AEW. So
awesome.
congratulations to her and Sammy Guevara.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, be happy for people. And if your immediate thought process goes to, well, that means I'm not going to be able to see her on Raw or SmackDown. You know what? Shut up. Shut your freaking mouth.
Yep.
Someone should take your phone and access to social media away from you.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that about a lot of people on social media. If
well, yeah,
your only goal on social media is to put other people down, you don't deserve to be on social media.
no, no, no. That's the only time. One of the only times I'm okay with saying, you know what, certain things just aren't for certain people, and it's okay. Yeah, like some people just can't handle the responsibility. We'll say that
To be
comes
to
with
be a decent human being.
yes, yes. So be decent. I won't belabor this, but I'll just say be decent. The world doesn't revolve around you. Last time I checked.
Don't be a dick.
Yes, sage advice that we
From
can
Dead.
always yes that we can always live by and apply to our lives. Um,
Thank you, Jed Shepard, because he
yes,
was the
thank
one
you,
that
Jed.
delivered that little nugget of
Yeah,
of knowledge.
yeah. Negan Mox with a great comment here saying, "Will I miss Alexa? Absolutely, but I'm so happy for her, and that makes her comeback even bigger when she returns." Exactly,
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
exactly, exactly.
You appreciate the moments more when you don't have them as much.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
how much do we enjoy seeing Bray?
Right.
Because he was gone for 15 months,
Hmm.
which I did rib him on last time I met him. Um, yeah, he was gone for 15 months. And how massive was that return when he did come back? Because he was gone for 15 months. We didn't even know if he was going to come back. And
Yeah,
then he did. And we were like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
yeah. And to still
Congratulations to Alexa. She
exactly.
did say that it was a happy oops, which I get that because Logan was a happy oops. So yeah, those are sometimes the best ones because you're not planning for it and it just happens and changes your life in a good way.
In a great way. So congratulations to them. I see James Chadwick's translation services are in full effect in
Amazing.
the chat. So good job, James. Um, but yeah, don't be that person. Ryan, I promise you we'll get to that question. That's what this is all about.
Yep.
As soon as we get through this section and then Caleb's corner, we will discuss some breaking news and our best guesses um, as to when we think he may return. Um, so yeah. Jamie, she said she was coming back. She said she'd
Yeah.
be back. So whether that's and here's the thing. So for some of you, let me break this down. Because for some people, they don't realize that um, many pregnancies last for 9 months. Some are a little bit earlier, but many pregnancies last for 9 months. And then um, the mother, as she's allowed to, can take as much time as she needs
Yep.
to spend that time with her child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People that work your typical jobs, they get maternity leave. I'm sure WWE offers the same. Um, and what I will say to you is whether she's back in a year or 15 months or 18 months, you know what? That's
She'll be
up
back.
to her. But
Yep.
she said she'd be back.
Yep.
So give her a little bit of time. And I'll say this too. Alexa didn't owe anyone an explanation. She didn't owe anyone to announce that on social media. She did it because she's happy, as she should be, and rightfully so. And I feel like it was also to let fans know, hey, I'm here. I'm
I
here.
see you. Yeah.
I see you. This is what's going on in my life. Little more important than, a storyline, right?
Yeah.
So Negan Mock saying, remember the reaction when Becky returned? Yes, the place came unglued.
Huge.
Huge pop.
Huge pop.
Huge pop. So congratulations to Alexa and Ryan. We wish them nothing but the best, and we are so excited for the good news and glad that she's doing well and enjoying life and living it to the fullest. And that's what matters here. So
Mhm.
enough about that. I'll get off of my soapbox. And we'll follow that up with a very special edition of Caleb's Corner.
Haha.
Jody, take it away.
Always love Caleb's Corner. They did finish up their UK tour. So from what I could gather from Caleb's Instagram, it looks like he's at the beach, getting some R&R. Kind of looked like he was in the Outer Banks, maybe. Looked very Outer Banks-ish, and that's just because I used to live in North Carolina. But yeah, looks like he's taking some R&R after that. I'm sure that was ridiculously exhausting. I did see on one of his Instagram stories that his voice was breaking at the end of the London show. And I did hear from one of my friends, Christina, that the last 3 shows he didn't actually come out afterwards and greet the fans. So if I would not have gone to that Birmingham show and I would have went to the London show as originally planned and not gone on the cruise, I would not have met him again. So things just happen the way they're supposed to. Because if I wouldn't have met him again, I wouldn't have gotten to give him another hug and give him his book, which he loved. So,
Awesome.
yeah, very, very. I'm sure it looks like they thoroughly enjoyed the tour. It was also John Michelli's birthday. A couple days ago. So happy birthday to John Michelli, the drummer. He is always an absolute sweetheart to meet, and um, very nice guy. All of them are very nice guys. But I didn't get to show you guys this last week because I didn't have it. But I did get Caleb to sign the picture that I took with him in Atlantic City. So
Oh,
I got
that's
him
awesome.
to sign that. I got John Michelli to sign the one I took with him, and the one that's Andy, And that is Randy. And I got all of them to sign the pictures that I took with him. I didn't get a picture with Paul. For some reason, I keep forgetting to get a picture with Paul. I don't know why, but next time I need to make sure I get a picture with Paul. It's because he's so much fun to talk to. I just forget.
You just get so wrapped up in the conversation that
he's just such a nice dude, and
yeah.
I forget to ask him for a picture because I enjoy talking to him. So he's a wealth of knowledge, that man. So yeah, it looks like they had a fantastic tour. I think Caleb's next show is June or July. He's doing a show in Texas, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'll make sure that we have an updated tour graphic for Monday. But yeah, he said he's gonna be announcing some more dates here coming up too. Hopefully, now that things have kind of settled a little bit, I can actually nail him down on a date for him to come on here, which he has said that he would love to do, and I'm gonna hold him to it. I'm gonna hold you to it, Caleb. So maybe now he'll have a little bit of time to come talk to us about, the new music that he's been making and upcoming tour dates and how the tour was. And now we've seen that new announcement for Terrifier 3.
Oh.
So now we can talk more about horror movies, and hopefully by then he has watched Skidamarink and Dash Cam and Host, because I told him those were the 3 that he needed to watch. So yeah, we can talk about those, and I'm looking forward to Terrifier 3. I don't know how they're going to push the envelope farther than how they did in Terrifier 2.
I was just about to say the same thing. Like, how do you top it?
How do you top that bedroom scene from Terrifier 2?
Woo!
Yeah,
that was. Woo.
I'm intrigued. I'm excited. Ironic that I love these movies since I'm terrified of clowns. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Caleb coming on here and having a fun discussion with him about horror movies. I have a feeling that's going to go on for a little bit longer than we originally are anticipating, because we'll start talking about horror movies and be like, I have a feeling it might go kind of like Jed's, like, are you good? Do you need to go? So
yeah, that'll probably be an extended
Caleb's
discussion
Gordon.
there. Yeah, that'll be extended. But yeah, and I, in the midst of all of the getting everything ready, I neglected to do this at the very beginning. But welcome everyone to everyone in the chat, and special shout out to all of our channel members. Thank you all for your support. Thank everyone. I mean, all of you in the chat. Thank you for your support. I see we got some folks, a lot of folks in here, and I'd love to call everybody out by name, but thank you all. Hopefully you're having a good day, and hopefully we can make it a little bit better. So yeah. So you know what? Let's talk about the Fiend in the room. The people say the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the Fiend in the room.
The Fiend in the room.
Yeah, we got some reports out there, and some people are saying maybe it's not legitimate. I think I saw you and Eric Rousseau post a comment that Jason Baker had replied to some of the reports out there. So Jodie, I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you talk about what's been reported and what Jason's response to that was.
Yeah, so there was rumors floating around that, that WWE wanted Bray to bring Fiend back. I don't know how much credit I put into that. Obviously, we have seen him, we've seen the Fiend since in this return when he first came back. So I really don't think that he would have shown us that if there wasn't some intent to build him into this story somehow. I still think we're going to get some kind of evolved version because, Bray's kind of one of those people that doesn't look back. He keeps moving forward. So he reflects back, but he's very much about keep moving forward and evolving and progressing. But Jason Baker replied and said something about the molds, destroying all the molds for the Fiend masks a year ago. Let me tell you something about Jason Baker, okay? He's a fantastic liar.
Oh,
fantastic liar. He is the king of swerves. So don't read too much into that either. Could he be telling the truth? Sure. But if he is telling the truth and they really did destroy all the molds a year ago, doesn't mean he can't make more.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it can be done. It can be done.
But I will let you know that Jason Baker is a fantastic liar.
He's good at the swerve.
He is.
Well. He's
very good at the swerves, and I have been subject to that myself. So
he's good. He's good with the swerves. So, yeah, shout out to Jason Baker. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does next. Yeah, I can't.
And I was talking to C Wrestling a little bit before we started. Not to mention the WWE owns the Fiend now, so I'm pretty sure they have some kind of original mask that they can go off of because they own the rights to the Fiend, so it's copyrighted by them.
So let me ask you this, and I want to throw this question out to you and to the chat. So let's say that he's not swerving us. Let's say that the old molds are gone.
The old molds.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking that way. Do you think this is an opportunity for Jason Baker, Bray Wyatt, and WWE to bring back the Fiend, but a newer, more sinister version of that? And how would you do that? What would you like to see the Fiend be like this time around?
I've said this before. I would like to see more of that mask that we saw in the Pitch Black match that he wore at the end. I think there's a loose thread there, and I want to pull on it and unravel it and see what's going on with that. And I think it could evolve that way. If you're buying into that whole that we're seeing the other side of the door, and that's what the Fiend really looks like without a mask, and the Fiend is a mask for him to put on when he wants to come through the door. So I think this could go in many different ways. I wouldn't be surprised if, there's an artist out there that's drawn several different masks.
Yeah. And Derek says, I haven't seen either Terrifier movie. And just Google that bedroom scene. What have you?
Oh my gosh! I am so sorry.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's
brutal.
It's brutal.
If that's the only scene that you've seen and you got through it, you'll be fine with the rest of the movies.
Derek, I will tell you that in the first movie, there's a very unfortunate scene where a young lady is cut in half, and I won't go into details.
While she's hanging upside down.
Yeah, while she's hanging upside down. I won't go into details.
That was brutal too.
Yeah.
Not as brutal as that bedroom scene, but it was brutal.
That bedroom scene was brutal. It went on. It went on for a while. So
yeah. That was a one.
Yeah. Big Dan saying hypothetically, and I know this is blasphemy, but if WWE owns the Fiend, someone else could take up the mantle. They could reenact the Undertaker versus Undertaker from
Oh God, please
1994.
don't.
Okay, I was going to ask you your thoughts on that, and same thing with the chat. I want everyone's thoughts. So, would you want to see that?
No.
You wouldn't want to see a Fiend versus Fiend or a Fiend versus Bray or anything like that. Let me throw this one at you then. Fiend versus Howdy.
It depends. I want to know more about Howdy first and where he comes from and the background information for Howdy, and maybe depending on what that background information is. Like if Howdy really is somebody else entirely and it's not just another personality of Bray, sure, go for it. But I think we could see several different masks.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be cool if we get some different things. And these couple comments here, James Grant saying, yes, they could make the Fiend more horrific, more dark stories, types of things Vince would never allow.
I mean, hey, look, we just had an evil clown win the WWE Women's Championships, so
watch out, Pennywise. Here comes Oscar. Jimmy.
I was so happy.
Oh yeah, and I'll say this too. The way that they,
I watched that pay-per-view on a boat in the middle of the North Sea.
Wow, that's quite a backdrop to watch Night of Champions.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Actually, I think that night you could see Mars from my balcony.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Like that's watching it. It was good. Yeah. First off, I mean, I thought the whole card was good. But Oscar winning in the way that they did it, I really liked, because it didn't diminish Bianca. And it was awesome to see Oscar get the win. So yeah, shout out to Oscar. I know that was a happy moment for very many people. So she's definitely a fan favorite. Jimmy Fingers says more Fiend, less Funhouse, and puppets would make it far more sinister and less silly.
What if we saw more of the Funhouse from the other side of the door? Like the dark puppets.
See, I like that. I like that.
So if we get a darker, kind of going back to Terrifier too, but the cartoon that they did in Terrifier, but it had a real sinister spin on it. Do something like that.
Yeah, I like that with the darker puppets. I really like that. To be honest with you, I really want to see them lean into the horror of everything. I want to see them make this so dark, so incredibly scary, that people are like, am I watching wrestling or am I watching a horror show?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. That's what I really want to see. And I think the dark puppets add a nice touch to that.
They do. I mean, we've seen them before. I really don't think they were a one-off or two-off. We've seen them twice. But yeah, I don't think that Jason Baker would go through that much effort for kind of a 1-2 time thing. I think we're going to continue to see them.
Yeah. Cosmic Prince 3000 says, if the Fiend returns, they should use the 2-part mask concept from the concept arts.
Concept arts.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what concept arts he's talking about.
You know what I really want to see? I want to see the boar mask.
Yes. Oh, are those the concept art he's talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't think that particular person actually released concept art. I'm gonna shut up.
Erase Your Mind saying have him come back and utterly destroy Roman. That will get people talking. Here's the question though, because I know people don't want him to go against Roman right now for the titles.
Right.
How about just like Deanna said, Deanna, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Deanna Purrazzo. Just saw her picture go across my other screen. So what if Roman self-destructs and encounters the Fiend? Because the groundwork has already been laid for
as long as it doesn't put Bray in the title picture, I'm
yeah,
okay with it.
Yeah.
Fine.
And Erase Your Mind saying not a match, just a random attack. I think something like that would be awesome if he comes out. Let's say we get a big fight between Roman and the Usos, which is gonna happen. Just know that that's gonna happen, especially with the way that they did things on Saturday. So
what's worse though? You weren't expecting Jimmy to be the one that turned on him.
A lot of people.
Ray was expecting Jay to turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a nice little swerve.
Nice little touch. I would love to see him come out and really just dismantle.
Kind of like Brock's been doing to Cody.
Yeah. Like I want to see, honestly, someone like Roman having this type of run can end in one of two ways. They never lose and they just keep going and making it an impossible thing. Or the downfall is just as mighty as the ascent to the top.
Slowly unraveling.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm okay with that. If Howdy did say all it takes is a little push.
Yeah.
Maybe Roman needs a push to self-destruct.
Yeah. Maybe he needs a little
a little push.
Little push. So, but yeah, I think that as long as it's not for a title, as long as it's done in a manner to advance both storylines for Roman and for Bray, I think I'm behind that 100%. I don't want to see them in a match yet. I want to wait until Roman is at complete rock bottom. And yes, I meant to say rock bottom because you know who his family is. But anyway,
nice play on words. I like that.
I do what I can. I see
what you did there.
But I want to see him hit complete rock bottom because his title reign has been just absolutely dominant. And you can argue that he's had a lot of help. Yeah, he has had a lot of help, but that's what heels do. He's had a ton of help, and sometimes it's been a little bit predictable, and I get it. And some people are kind of growing up tired of it, and I get that too. But I think something like that, an encounter with the Fiend, given that the last time we saw them in a ring, what happened there? Like in a match.
What? So the thing that we don't talk about when actually Roman won the belt, that was at SummerSlam, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yes,
it was. Yep, he did not beat the Fiend.
He did not.
Negan Mock saying, "Do you remember when Bray tweeted? But who did he beat? He didn't beat Bray. He didn't beat the Fiend."
And that was at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was at SummerSlam, and SummerSlam just happens to be coming up
soon.
Soon. SummerSlam 2021. Thank you, Negan Mox, So here's the question. Do we see Bray? And I want to do it one of two ways here. I want to throw out a couple options. Do we just get him randomly showing up at a pay-per-view? Is that the place you want him to return, or do you think he shows up on Raw
Oh, it
or
was a
SmackDown?
payback, not
Payback?
SummerSlam.
Okay. Roman
Thank
came
you for
back
my
at
husband
some.
for texting me that too.
Thank you. Okay.
He won the belt at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So gotcha. So let's say that they do SummerSlam. Let's say that that's the target, since they had that encounter and Roman came back and kind of put a fly in the ointment, so to speak, at SummerSlam. What if Bray does the same thing for him? Just really like rubs salt in the wound with the whole bloodline implosion.
What if he causes him to lose?
Yeah. And that's the final nail in the coffin of the bloodline.
I don't think that would happen, but putting a fly in the ointment, I could see that. Because I mean, right now nobody can really predict. My husband just texted me and said, "Anyone but you, Roman." That's why I love my husband. He's a keeper, y'all. Nobody can really predict who he's going to feud with when he comes back.
Right.
Because LA Knight was so out of left field. We were like, what? So I have a feeling we're going to be doing that again and going, what? He's going after who? But that doesn't mean he can't wreak havoc along the way. And like you said, be a fly in the ointment.
Right. And that's okay. It's okay that's
what I want to see more from him. Like what the Fiend did. Wreak havoc on everybody. You never know. You never knew when the Fiend was going to show up, who he was going to attack. I mean, you were waiting for it at the drop of a hat. I want to see some more like that. Him just attacking random people. Although it wasn't random to him, I'm sure there was a purpose for each and every one, but I want to see that. I want to see more of that random, what looks to us random, just attacking people, just showing up and ruining their night. Just really like, kicking them in the balls, so to speak.
Alicia saying, Jodie and Jeff, Roman has a match that goes backstage, then suddenly, to get away, Roman opens a door. Who's behind the door? Mr. Bray Wyatt. I like that.
I also had another thought about that door. Who was the first person to open the door? It was Bray. So when he says, who opened the door? It was him. Because every time he's said, like, he goes into that serious mode and he talked to LA Knight about whatever comes through it is your responsibility now. But he was in almost like another character at that point. He wasn't Funhouse Bray anymore. He was more of a serious character. What if Bray is the one that opened the door? Because it was the Fiend in the box, even though that was introduced by Alexa, it was still the Fiend in the box. That was all about the Fiend. So what if Bray's the one that opened the door? Because he was the first one to open the door.
Interesting point. So
yeah, Egan said he came out of it in the first episode. Yep. He came from the other side of the door. Like he was always in that world. So it's Funhouse Bray mask. For something darker and more sinister. on the other side of the door? Is Bray a mask? That would, add into Howdy saying, if it bothers you so much, if you're worried about the repercussions, just take the mask off. Or don't take off the mask. I forget what it was. It's late. But he did bring that up. Like, if it bothers you so much, take the mask off or don't take the mask off.
Jimmy says Bray could cost Roman and then tell Roman in defeat that he is just a chief with no tribe. In the same manner Roman told Bray he was just a freak in a mask. Jimmy, good callback there. That's good.
I mean, because he could play that back into the story with Roman saying, "You're still just a freak in a mask."
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
But Bray was the first one to open the very first one to open the door.
Yeah. Big Dan
saying he opened the door.
Big Dan saying, what if we get a return teaser vignette of Bray and Howdy still watching the TV with various footage of different superstars? Then at the end, we hear Howdy says, it's almost time. I like that. I like that. C Wrestling. What's up, C? Thank you for joining. Says, I kind of want wrestlers to go missing over a few weeks. Have it be unknown if they've walked out, no show, etc. Leak some BS stories to the dirt sheets and then reveal Bray kidnapped /
yes
them. See,
kidnapping. Let's do it.
All right. So if we see that story play out on WWE television, then we now know
that C Wrestling works for WWE.
That C Wrestling was the new writer that was rumored for Bray Wyatt. So, and then he goes on to say, really just make Bray a dangerous psycho who doesn't need a mask because it's always been him. Yeah. Negan Mox also saying, let's not forget Roman's reaction to the mandible claw. Okay. Smooth Realism says if they really want to shake it up and guarantee a success and bring back Fiend and introduce the Wyatt Six, that's playing it safe.
I don't want them to play it safe.
Yeah, be bold.
Bray is a risk taker.
Yeah, be bold.
And 9 times out of 10, it pays off. So, yeah, take risks. Now is the time to do that. Perfect time to do that. We don't know when he's coming back yet. He will be back at some point. Looking forward to it. Take risks. Take big risks.
Yeah.
Because he has such a dedicated fan base that we're gonna love it no matter what. So now is the time to take those big risks. Go for it. Yeah. Be weird. You are, Bray. Be weird.
Embrace the weird.
Embrace the weird, Bray. Embrace the weird.
Yeah, embrace the weird. All right. So last question that I'll ask, and then we'll get out of here. Even though we said this would be an abbreviated episode, it's not.
It never is.
Just teasing. But the last question I'll ask is,
he hasn't been on TV since February. We still find an hour to talk about him.
So yeah. So, do you think we get him? Well, so you think soon? I just want to get people's thoughts on when you think we get him back, because obviously people are still clamoring for him. They want him back. They miss him. We all miss him. We get it. We miss him. The main thing
he knows that. I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah. The main thing is just him being okay. As long as he's okay, that's the most important. But when do you think we get him back? Do you think we get him back on a random show like Raw or SmackDown, or do you think we get him at a pay-per-view?
I think we get him back on I think we start to get him back on a random show. Hints of him. I don't necessarily think it's going to be like White Rabbit stuff. It might be something a little bit different. And then I think we get that full reveal at a pay-per-view. But I think the day is very, very close. I think it could possibly, I hope in the month of June. Yeah.
Hoping in the month of June.
Mm.
How cool would it be? Just saying, how cool would this be if the wonderful fans over in the UK got a chance to see him return at Money in the Bank? Not saying it's gonna happen, but how wonderful would that be? Think about the reaction there, because I'm gonna say it. UK fans
Are amazing.
are amazing.
Amazing. They're so
Always bringing the
passionate.
energy. Yeah, always bringing the energy, because going back to what you said earlier, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and they don't get enough events there. So when you get it, you appreciate it. When it's always available to you,
Mm.
it's not as special. So
Mm.
again, I just, it would be cool to see that.
Yeah. My gut instinct, I think we'll get something big from him at SummerSlam.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we'll see him at Money in the Bank or not. If we don't, I don't think that hurts the story any. I think we're still gonna get, a decent build. I figured C would like that. I would love to see him come back, make a big appearance at Money in the Bank, because, us Brits are very passionate fans. Caleb and the Neverland Express learned that. Well, the rest of the band already knew, but they're very, very passionate fans. And they're gonna blow the roof off.
Yeah. Oh,
at Money in the Bank.
yeah. I mean, it's
Um,
gonna be tremendous.
So I would love for him to make an appearance at Money in the Bank. I don't know if he does or not. My gut feeling would lean more towards SummerSlam, but I think he's gonna be back soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, we get it. We miss him. Trust me, it is not easy doing a weekly show
I
when he hasn't been on TV since
I
February.
put out a tweet a few days ago that literally just said, "Dear Wyndham, we effing miss you. Sincerely, Fireflies," and it got like 12,000 views. I'm like, what the hell? All we did was tell Wyndham that we miss him. Because we miss him. I do send him random DMs sometimes and just say, we really missed you.
I see a couple people saying, what if there's a secret participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match? And
I think it depends what they're gonna do with it. I think that was the thing that we ran into with the Rumble. Rumble was obviously all about Cody winning. So, we kind of thought maybe they don't put Bray in the Rumble just because it was all going to be about Cody winning the Rumble. I don't know what their plans are for Money in the Bank. Do they have Cody win Money in the Bank and go to challenge Roman and actually beat him this time? I don't know. For me, Money in the Bank is so up in the air. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I have no idea. So if they're going to lean more towards it being Cody again and some kind of storyline on that end that's going to end up dealing with Roman, I maybe don't think they would put him in it as possible. I don't know. I just can't picture it in my head of Bray being in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with Negan Mox. There are a few names that I would throw in, I guess, my top list of people I want to win it. LA Knight is definitely one of them. I'm gonna throw this out there too, because they had the interaction on Monday night. Riddle, and he doesn't cash in on. I mean, he certainly could cash in on Seth, since they have history. But I'd love to see him in Gunther.
Ooh,
I'd love to see him cash in for that IC title.
I like that idea.
They planted the seeds.
Yeah. I don't know. Me personally, I can't picture Bray in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
I could see him, being involved in Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view. But I don't know. I can't picture him being in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, and people can certainly argue there were some cool spots, but I think about someone like Kane being in the Money in the Bank before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that I really liked it. There were some cool moments and there were some cool spots, but did it really make sense for his type of character? And I think you could probably make the same argument for someone.
Here's an interesting one. What if Big E wins Money in the Bank?
I would cry. I'm not even joking. If we're on stream, I'm crying. I'm just letting everybody know.
I mean, it's getting close to that time where he might come back as far as recovery.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
That would be pretty awesome, actually. Have Big E come back, and and win Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I just thought of another one, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get people upset before we go. So, I'll probably post it on social media just to see what people think, just to see how many crazy reactions I get because I don't have enough going on. But
you have to say it. You have to say it now.
I know I have to. All right. What if Solo wins Money in the Bank?
Ooh. Would you have him cash in on Roman?
Absolutely.
And beat Roman?
Absolutely.
I mean, Solo is I think the key to Roman's undoing because he's like his last ally.
Yeah. And
except for Paul Heyman, but I could see Paul Heyman going somewhere.
See, I think Paul Heyman is all about going after the next big thing. I mean, not to throw in a joke there, because of Brock Lesnar, but I think Sammy is not Sammy. Solo. I think Solo's like the next big thing. He's next up. And think about
Solo takes Paul Heyman.
Yeah, takes Paul Heyman and his titles and ruins the bloodline all at the same time. Here's the thing that I know people are going to say, what about Cody and Roman? And I'm going to throw something and turn it on its head here and say, what if the story really wasn't about Cody and Roman? What if the story is about Cody and Solo?
Well, I mean, the story is about Cody getting that belt. It doesn't matter who has it.
Right. But
Roman just happened to have it.
Yeah.
If Brock Lesnar had it, he'd be going out. Well, him and Brock Lesnar are fighting, but it doesn't matter who has that belt. That's the one he's going after.
Yeah.
If that's Solo, then it's Solo. Even if Kevin Owens had it, he'd be going after Kevin Owens. It doesn't matter. He wants that belt. And I think that's where they're coming out with finish the story. He needs to finish the story. He wants to finish the story. The story is about the belt, not the person holding it.
Right. And I think too, it's also very telling that Cody told Solo a couple times, you're not ready. You're not ready. The seeds were planted. I just like to throw things out there sometimes, but
I wouldn't mind that, actually.
And I will say this, and I've got to ask my UK friends here because someone threw this out there, and I've seen it on social media. What if Dom won Money in the Bank?
Oh my God! Could you imagine the heat?
Oh. The Twitter would really stop working that day. Like you think it's not worked well in the last several months. It really wouldn't work that day.
That would be insane.
I'm not suggesting that it does, but
the seeds are there. After that little interaction that Rhea Ripley had with Seth. which was
Mm-hmm.
freaking beautiful, by the
Yeah.
way. That
Yeah.
little moment where they looked at each other and was like, oh crap, I didn't mean to put my arm around you. So the seeds are there for maybe Dom to go after Seth. It's possible.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. You know, I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
C Wrestling says Dom wins Money in the Bank. I and many others would leave the O2 Arena via police escort after we riot. And I thought that, honestly, I thought that as soon as I saw someone say it on social media, I was like, okay, people would absolutely
Look, but what did I say about Roman beating Cody at WrestleMania? Think about the heat. Think about the nuclear heat that Roman got because of that match. Think about the nuclear heat that Dom would get if he won Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'd be funny. I mean, Seth and AJ had a great moment with that the other night when Rhea brought it up and they just started laughing.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a great segment. Yeah, Dom would have a rough time leaving the O2.
And that match, by the way, between AJ and Seth.
Oh my gosh. Just
poetry.
Yeah, that's what you call
Seth, well, both of them, but most importantly, Seth can make, you know, a ramen noodle look amazing. So
yeah, I mean that both of those guys are master technicians in the ring.
Oh, amazing.
Brilliant performers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just brilliant. Not just from a character standpoint, from they're both great on the mic.
Yeah.
But if you really want to learn about wrestling and what wrestling can be and should be in some ways,
you watch those two.
Look at those two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Seth, and I was so happy that AJ said this. Seth earned this title.
Absolutely.
The work that Seth has done over the last year plus is tremendous. A masterclass in, like, honestly, if you're training or you want to become a professional wrestler, go look at highlights of Seth over the last few years. That man, what he does in the ring, what he does on the microphone, absolutely brilliant, absolutely
phenomenal. Phenomenal. And yeah, I loved the feud that he had with Bray.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, both AJ and Seth are just absolute phenomenal athletes.
Yeah. 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 I mean, they're just tremendous. And I got an opportunity to watch AJ up close and personal many years back when he was getting started out and doing his thing on the indies and all of that before he went to TNA and before he ended up going to New Japan. But goodness gracious, Seth is just Deanna saying AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and Bryan Danielson are three of the best to watch everything they do, every single thing.
There's a feud I wouldn't mind, AJ and Bray.
Yeah, I gotta see that at some point. I gotta see that at some point. Yeah, because I think a lot of people sleep on AJ's mic work.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people take that for granted.
He's underrated.
Very.
On the mic.
As great as he is and as many accolades as he has and deserves, he's still underrated.
Let me tell you something. The arcade that man has in his house
oh my goodness,
is, I mean, jaw-dropping. Yeah. Like, and envious, green with envy at that man's arcade that he has in his house. It's amazing.
He's got quite the setup.
He does. Amazing setup. I know, Chris will back me up here. That is his like #life goals.
There you go.
An arcade like that.
Hey, if you're gonna have a game room, you're gonna have an arcade.
He's working on it. It's looking a little sparse at the moment because we've had to sell a couple of them.
Yeah.
But Yeah, we'll get it back there.
You'll get it back. Yeah, you'll get it back there. Um, let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm sure if Chris had the opportunity to, he would chomp AJ's ear off talking about that arcade. He would want to know everything about how he built that arcade.
Duly noted. Duly noted. Listen, Matt P says Bray should come back and use the Tombstone Pile Driver with Sister Abigail as a combo finish and say Undertaker told him to use it. That would be
I
interesting, given that they had that moment, that interaction, and neither one would talk about what was said. That would be a good
mm-hmm.
call back there.
But Bray did say he would never talk about it.
Yeah.
But I really I'm sure Xavier has quite the arcade setup as well.
Yeah.
No doubt. I just haven't seen that one. I've seen AJ's. So the mandible claw choke slam thing that Bray was doing, that actually I think he broke his finger on, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe that wasn't how he broke his finger. But we did see him use it in some dark matches. So I would like to see more of that.
I would too.
Yeah. Give me some more of that mandible claw chokeslam. Because that was amazing. Like, that takes some talent to pick somebody up while they're in a mandible claw and slam them down through a table.
Yeah. Talent, strength, and skill.
Yes.
That's a heck of a combo.
Yes.
For sure.
I'm sure that's quite difficult.
Oh yeah. So, Jodie, final thoughts. I know that you've had a wonderful time back home, so just want to ask you for your final thoughts before we wrap up, and we will be back on Monday. So,
I come back stateside on Friday. So tomorrow's my last day here. Actually, it's today because it's after midnight here now. It is now June the 1st over here. So happy June, everybody. I've had a great time over here. I've really missed, obviously, my husband and my kids and the dog. Chris keeps telling me that the dog is depressed. And anytime I get on FaceTime with him and start talking, I'm like, Wyatt. He always looks around for me. He's like, I hear mommy, but I don't see mommy. Where is mommy? Pretty sure when I get home, he's just going to knock me over. That dog. So yeah, looking forward to getting back. I actually FaceTime with Logan earlier, and he's like, Mommy, I got 2 more sleeps until you come home. And he's been doing that for 5 days now. He's like, Mommy, I got 5 more sleeps until you come. And now I got 4 more sleeps. And now I got 3 more sleeps. So I know they're looking forward to having me back. I'm looking forward to being back. I have gotten 1 call from work since I've been over here about when I'm coming back and when they can put me back on the schedule. So, yeah, looking forward to getting back there, and had some amazing experiences on the cruise. Amsterdam was okay. Got to go on a tour of the Anne Frank house, which was quite emotional. It was really hard to wrap your brain around because it was the actual house that they hid in, and they were 1 month. I was talking to my parents about that today. 1 month shy of being liberated. So getting to actually walk through, the bookcase that they used to block the entryway to the place that they were hiding, and actually seeing where they were hiding and walking up that staircase. It was very emotional. And they had, they actually had her actual diary there. And, stories about, the family and kind of how that all happened and then what happened to them afterwards. I think the father survived, and the mother and Anne and her sister were executed in a concentration camp. So that was really emotional. And we did like a wine and cheese canal cruise in Amsterdam, which was cool too. I enjoyed that. Obviously, you can partake in extracurricular activities in Amsterdam, which were fantastic as well. The only place that, it did feel a little like dirty. There were areas like it just wasn't very clean. Very, very busy. If bikes have the right of way there, so they will run you over. If you don't get out of their way, they will run you over. So that was a little life threatening at times. But it's very, very busy. It's not super clean. We did walk down to the red light district, and I I almost sobbed in the middle of the red light district because it just broke my heart. So that's about Amsterdam. But Bruges in Belgium was stunning. If you ever get a chance to go to Bruges in Belgium, Belgium is beautiful. I mean, that's what I expected Europe to look like. That beautiful architecture and beautiful churches. And I went in this church, and it was a basilica, and it was beautiful. It was the Basilica of the Holy Blood, and they have a like a glass vial that has a piece of Jesus's burial cloth in it, and it has his blood on it. That's what the little pamphlet said, and they wouldn't let you take a picture of it, but you got to walk up to it and look at it, and that was pretty overwhelming to kind of akin to probably how I would feel actually standing in Jerusalem or Israel. Like you're just, and that basilica was stunning, absolutely stunningly beautiful. The stained glass windows. I mean, it was beautiful. If you ever get a chance to go to Bruges in Belgium, definitely do it. Amsterdam is, I don't think I'd go again. But it kind of is one of those once in a lifetime things. Everybody should go once, but I wouldn't go again. But Bruges, I would keep going back to, because you can just go. There's so much to see, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I had a really good time. Walked a lot around Portsmouth too in England, and that was awesome. Got to get in touch with my heritage a little bit, because they have a ship there called the Mary Rose, and there's like this 4D like museum that you can go through, and apparently that was Henry VIII's favorite ship, which touched my heart a little bit, since I share some blood with him. But anyway, enough of me rambling about my England. I've had a great time over here. It's been really great to see family. Tomorrow we're kind of having an open house, and everybody can kind of come over and say bye. And I leave very, very early on Friday morning to go down to London and get on a plane and go home. That's my final thoughts. I've had a great time.
Good. Glad that you've had a great time, and this abbreviated, not really abbreviated show has been a great time. Thank you, Jodie, and thank you to everyone in the chat for your questions, your comments, and participating in the discussion. We will be back on this channel, and I had to really think about this because my days are just all screwed up. We'll be back on this channel tomorrow for Impact Wrestling, which after Under Siege, this is just, oh my goodness, this show is going to be great. So come check us out tomorrow night.
Yes, James Chadwick, great time apart from Leicester getting relegated. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, that's another thing on the cruise too. The food was amazing.
Good food, huh?
Amazing. One night, and they will let you eat as much as you want. One night I decided to be a real pig, and I ate roast lamb and beef Wellington.
Oh wow.
So good. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're fine. EJ Movement. No, we're not doing the art today. Honestly, we had planned on being on much shorter. But anytime it comes to talking about Bray and different theories and those kinds of things, it just happens this way. So we just let the conversation lead us. We go where the circle takes us.
Yes.
We just follow the circle. That's where it is.
That's how you end up doing an hour and 45-minute interviews with Jed Shepard.
There you go.
You just get talking and you just keep going. You're like, oh crap, we've been
Yeah.
talking for a long time.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this week. We really appreciate it. We'll be back on Monday next week. So we'll see you then if we don't see you tomorrow night for Impact. And I'll say this, if you're not a fan of Impact, if you haven't watched it in a while, give it a try again. It's worth it. You'll enjoy it.
It is.
It's
very good.
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us, and we will catch you next time here on Abby's Window.
So what do you say? You want to see my secret?